Morning, family. I'm on my way to the office, and so I thought that I would just come on here real quick and send out a little note to parents and anybody who is actively involved in the lives of kids. The message is actually applicable to anybody who is in relationship with anyone. But what I want to say is get into worldview conversations with your kids. If you are not having worldview conversations with your kids, and when I say worldview conversations, the basic questions that are being answered by culture, by the world. So what is their view of the world? What do they think is the basic fundamental problems with the world? What happens when you die? How did people get here? Answer worldview conversations with your kids, because the culture and influencers are answering these questions for your kids. Their friends are answering and talking to them about these questions. But you as a believer have a very true worldview. And that is the worldview that your kids need to have grounded in them. So I was in Walmart with my oldest nephew, and this is where all of this stems from. I was in Walmart with my oldest nephew a while ago, and he's 16. And so we were looking for some different things, and I turned my back, and all of a sudden this man and woman approach him, and they ask him about like a dresser or something like that. I was like, that's very weird that they're asking, this teenager boy about this dresser. But my nephew actually had the dresser at his house and was like, oh, I actually have this dresser, and he gave his thoughts on it and stuff like that. Well, that conversation, in my personal opinion, was just a ruse to be able to have a different conversation with my nephew about God the Mother. And so the guy goes, hey, have you ever heard of, he goes, no. He goes, hey, are you a Christian? My nephew said yes. And he was like, well, I'm also a Christian. And I just wanted to know, have you ever heard of God the Mother? And my nephew said no. Now, I'm standing like 10 feet away, and I can hear everything that's happening. And so the man goes, oh, well, let me tell you a little bit about my church and God the Mother. I said, devil, you is a whole lie. Before that man even knew it, I was right there standing right behind my nephew. Nephew, why don't you go on over there and look at some candy or look at a video game or something like that? Nephew, let me go on and handle this. And so as my nephew turned to walk away, I was like, actually, no, come back here and let's listen to this. Let's have this conversation. You can be a part of this conversation too. And I had to let this man, honey, don't you ever come talking to this one, because this one here is mine. About God the Mother. Now, I broke it down scripturally for him about why God is not Mother God. We do not address him as Mother God. He does not reveal himself in the scripture as a Mother God or as a female. He does not use female pronouns. Jesus revealed the Father perfectly. He came as a man. He did not reveal a woman to us. God has never been revealed as a female in the scriptures. And so we had a nice little conversation, but when I get back to the car, I have another conversation with my nephew about this whole thing about who is God. Is it, does God ever reveal himself in the scriptures as a woman? And so it was just a really important conversation that my nephew and I now often go back to or joke about and things like that. But if I wouldn't have been there, if he would have just been in Walmart by himself, I wonder where that conversation would have went, and what doubt could have been planted in his head by someone who has no theology background, at least not a proper theology background, and maybe coming from a cult. So this is why I'm encouraging you, if you are in relationship with anyone actually, but especially a young person, make sure that you are having conversations about worldview with these kids, with your kids, because you want to be able to ground them in case someone comes up with some kind of wacky bull. Just, you heard of God the Mother? Oh, when you die, you come back as a tree, or you come back as gravel, or no. I already know these things. I already have answers to the problems or to the questions that people are seeking to answer. So that is my little take on this day. Be encouraged. And yeah, be strong in the Lord. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.